Almighty ISIS spinning around when I was a kid. So I'm thinking some white lady. So I said, I'm gonna just look in it. My curiosity made me open the book and start reading it. Let me tell you something. I started reading this book and I couldn't put it down. I read it for 2 hours and I looked at the clock and I was like, oh damn, I better get back to work. But it's that interesting. It caught my attention that much. This happened to me about, I'd say 12 years ago is when this happened. Maybe a little sooner than that, maybe 8 years ago. But anyway, that's when I first got introduced to this brilliant mind on this lady right here. Since that time right there, I read this book 3 times. All right, I just want you to know, if you are a person out there, whether white, black, it don't matter what your gender is. If you really want to know why our world is the way it is, you need to read this book. I'm telling you, this is one of the best works out there. If you read this book, you would just be in awe. You would not believe what has been done to us. It explains the whole dynamics of our world and why it's that way. It breaks down the fundamentals of freaking religion. It tells you about homosexuality. It tells you about the game manipulation of the banks. It tells you about the mistreatment of the women and why it was done. It tells you so much stuff that by the time you get through with this book, these 4 ladies that I just put on you, Dr. Jewel Pookrum, Dr. Marima Ani, plus Dr. Frances Quest Welsing, and Dr. Ann Brown, and also it's 5 because I also gave you Sister Suzar, okay? Now I want you guys to know something. If you listen to these 5 ladies and you read as much and listen to as many of their DVDs as you can for a whole year, after that year is over with, you would have been to change your whole format of thought. They can actually help you stop eating meat. They can help you change your diet. They can make you change your whole perspective on life as to you will know yourself as to be a god or a goddess. And this is not something that we're getting from the European people. And the European people yourselves, you don't understand how much you've been mistreated by this false knowledge that they done brought on the earth to lock us all down, man or woman. We are, don't you know, for you to be a white man and walk around hating your brother because of his skin color being darker than yours, that somewhere someone had to fill your mind with idiocy? Okay, I just want you to think about that. I'm going to let her talk because I got exactly 3 minutes left, so I want you guys to get a chance to hear what she's got to say, okay? Hold on. But I want you to go get this book and read it, though. That's why I showed you the book. You better get it and read it. I'm going to put 2 black dots up your ass. Know that.
Who are taking their stress and their frustration out on other people like themselves, so that the majority of people that are victims of racism end up harming other people like themselves. And it's interesting if this act is called terrorism, but the activity on the part of people who classify themselves as white, when they are killing non-white people, somehow that's not called terrorism. And I would say that the solution, a major part of the solution to this kind of problem, whether we're talking about black on black activity, if we really begin as a society to deal with what the Attorney General said, are we a nation of cowards, being unable to talk about racism? Now, when a black person says or harms a white person, then somehow people are willing to talk about racism. But the racism that goes on 24/7 times 365 times 500 years, nobody wants to talk about that. And that is the heart of the problem.
Before we get deeper in looking at some of the different aspects of the case, I wanted to get your view, given that we are in a system of white supremacy. Mr. Fuller asserts that the primary tactic used to maintain that system is deception. I think we have a lot of cliches, speak with forked tongue and that sort of thing. Do you think it would be logical for black people to be skeptical and to really have their brain computers operating, at maximum ability when they're processing the information, when they're reading reports about this incident, and to read with some degree of skepticism with regards to maybe we are not being told the truth, maybe we're not being given all the accurate details. Do you think that would be reasonable?
Well, I think that one has to wait until all the information is in, and clearly we're at the beginning or at the middle, but we certainly are not at the end of the events which are involved in this total situation. And so we do have to wait and see. So we're, according to the news information that we have, we seem to be at the beginning, but as I said, we have